Hello, how are we all? It's been a bit of an up and down week for me this last week, so I thought I'd better hop on and explain why I haven't been on for a week. I somehow or other managed to block out my calendar on Wednesday. I was going to do Wednesday Wisdom YouTubes, but forgot to block out my calendar, my booking calendar for personal sessions last week. And I notice I've done the same for this week. So now it's just about coming on and just doing it randomly and hopefully giving you guys an opportunity to know my work. So I hope everyone's doing okay. I know there's a lot of energy. People are feeling flat, but there's also some that are feeling excited at the moment. So I was one of the ones feeling flat in the last week. So just been honouring my own energy and going along at a pace that's comfortable for me. All right, I thought today, because I do the In the Know weekly 7-day forecast for my paid subscribers, I thought I would just share a little bit of that with everyone uh, for what was written for last week for today. So today being Monday the 25th, that's right. We've got a funny weekend. We have a public holiday tomorrow, but today's a lot of people are taking it as a public holiday, so it feels a little bit like Sunday on Monday. So yeah, forgive me if I'm a bit in the holiday mode or the time off mode, but no, it is a work day today for me as well. So I thought I'd just read the guidance and predictions part of my forecast that I forget because I write it a week prior to, and it's a lot of it is channeled through. So I like to go back each day and have a look myself, so it keeps me on track with what I get through. So we have, we have the daily focus, we have the energy influences, we have the an affirmation to keep us sort of staying positive, and also I have a section on guidance and predictions. So today, before I did any of my cards, I thought I'd just read what was written last week for today to share. I know the paid subscribers will be going in, I hope, if they're watching this, and each day looking up what's going on and keeping themselves in alignment so that they're still being asked, and I'm getting a lot of, we're all still being asked to turn our lights on, and keep the momentum that's coming through now with the changes on the planet. So, and I think today was a bit relevant to that, so that's why I thought I'd read it for everyone. So here we go. I wrote down in the guidance and prediction section, I'll just put it here so I can read it to you. Guidance is saying the world is completing many old patterns that do not serve. The challenges, conflict and obstacles of recent times is coming to a close. The ego, unconscious behaviours are easing. Many light workers, spiritual teachers, wise elders and the awakened enlightened have enhanced the collective energy to open to the new way of operating. Compassion, support and unity comes to humanity at a steady pace over the next 10 years. That's something to look forward to. Many of you have dived deep into your heart with compassion, and many have self-realized and awakened to the understanding that fear is always behind what is playing out in the unconscious material world. Now this is good news too. Many children being born now will be the keepers of this light of understanding. You will see it in their eyes. How lovely is that? So yeah, I just wanted to share that with anyone in the world who's jumping on. That's part of the In the Know 7-day forecast that I bring out. And you can find more about that on my website, susanskyring.com. So today, for a little while, I thought, what do we need? And I thought I'd just move on from that a little bit and just see if we can do, because I know a lot of subscribers are in the States that are that have joined now or are on the YouTube subscriber, which is free, of course, which is lovely to keep us all connected. So I thought I'd just do a few cards today on America and just see how the collective consciousness is going now that you guys have been through the inauguration and that things are settling, the energy's settling a little bit for you, but just to see what the next week looks like. So I'll throw a few cards on that, and then I thought I'd have a look at our own Australian situation as well, collectively. Just how, it's just a general. It's just a general of the collective, because we're all connected. We're all one, and we all influence this collective energy. That's why we call it that. It's a collection of how everyone's feeling at this moment. So I just want to look at that over the week, and of course it can change. It changes, and that's why I do it daily, because we are moving all the time in how we're feeling energetically. And the energy moves, we feel it through us. Even if we're being really positive and the half the collective is feeling a pull in another way, we will also be influenced by that. So but many that are on their spiritual path are understanding that, so that's great. Okay, so I've got my 20-year-old tarot cards here that are just an extension of what gets channeled through me, and it just confirms, and it's just a place where I can have a look at how we're going. So I'll just put a few cards out for and how the United States is sitting energetically over this next week as things ram up over there, because I can feel that change, that big change coming through. Part of what was came through for me last week, just what I read out to you there just before. So let's hope this is good. And I hope my sound is okay today, because I do have a little gadget on my there. So let's have a look here. Good. Okay. So the first one that comes out is the walking away, the finishing off all of the stuff that, so this is probably the next 5 days or so. We've got a lot of having to finish off a lot of programs, things that have been put in place. They need to be tidied up and completed. So, and it's stuff from the past, but there's still a feeling in the collective here that many are still watching over their shoulder, looking over their shoulder, waiting for something to happen. There's sort of this edginess here that says it's not finished yet. It's not finished yet, and conflict could arise. So this is sort of like people coming together in battle. So there's still, and that's all to do with the fives there. I've got the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. So the finishing off, it's really important, if you are picking up on this yourself, that you sort of have that sense of just, if conflicts arising in your personal space, with someone, a loved one even, there could be the edginess there that you collectively feel, but you don't know why you're feeling it, and there may be still some reactions coming up. If you can just, use that saying, turn the other cheek, I'm just going to be clear and calm here and just watch it rather than go into battle, because the higher the vibration of holding space at the moment while all of this change is taking place, because you're transitioning into something that's far more nurturing. So I've got the feminine, the Empress. So to me that sort of says you've got a lot of feminine energy now in your leaders, which is going to end the light workers and the collective, that says, we can be holding of this change now. We can let this new way come through, which is far more, it's gentle, it's not as hard, it's not as ego driven, it's got a taste of unconditional love in there. So let that unconditional love, and unconditional love, as we know, is, doesn't have strong views of right or wrong, just how can we work together, how can we work for the higher good of all, how can we love and be kind and compassionate. So that's a good sign, that's in there, and that was the 3rd card that I took out. So yes, I can see there's still looking and waiting for something to go wrong or to happen again, or a battle, and it could rise to the surface, because it needs to be healed, it needs to be cleared. And we know that in the background all of this comes from fear. All of it comes from fear. But if we can add the unconditional love, to this, we can watch it and nurture and heal. Okay, so that looks okay there. I can see you'll probably have a few things that'll come up over the next week that you might notice yourself, your own ego going into, that's still not right. We've got to, but the energy, it's like a seed's been planted for new growth, for new understanding. So so I'll just quickly have a look now on our Australian landscape. I know we're focused heavily on the vaccine rollout, so I'll just see what the collective energy brings through with 3 cards on that area as well. Okay. Ooh, so we've got worries about all these injections. So that's coming up first. So there's a high percentage of people that are very concerned about whether they want to take this vaccine. That's possibly going to be starting to be. We're starting to hear about it with our leaders. They're starting to talk about it. Coming in for February, and they're talking about offering it to the ones that are the greatest need at the moment. And people are asking for it in that greatest need as well. So, but there's an edginess. So that's the third card that's come out. So again, watching, waiting, hoping to see more information coming through towards the end of February that gives us a bit more of a sense of stability. I think a lot of people will sit back and wait. They're using the rest of the world as an example for themselves on how they'll go with it. But yeah, it's an edgy time, and it's all to do with the swords again. Look at them. Yeah, but yeah, then there's the ones that are saying, "Give me." So in the centre of this is a please give to me, or give to us, the ones that are underprivileged. And I actually feel that the government's going to look very closely at the needs of the people here with this and bring balance. The scales are in there, so bring some balance into the situation so that it's taking their time, and I think that's possibly bringing comfort to the collective consciousness of the Australian people. So there's no rush here, and yet there's a feeling of urgency for some families, some Indigenous communities, some, the aged care situation, so that families can reconnect a bit stronger. But yeah, I guess what I'd say collectively looking at this, even what comes up through me is the same, as I feel that we just need to watch and wait for a while, just to be calm and just allow our belief systems to guide us for our higher good, for our own personal higher good with this. And everyone's individually in a different vibe there. And, if your belief system is that it's going to harm you, then you have to watch carefully that you don't create that as well through, attracting to you the. So yeah, just watch and wait until you know your path on this. Just to know, you'll be guided. You'll be definitely guided if you can sit still and just see what's important, and what, some will have it, some won't, and the ones that won't might end up being completely protected anyway, or they might not be. So there's no right or wrong in the decision making process here. It's collectively, I feel that we'll be guided if we just take our time with this and allow our own personal truth to reveal what's best for us. So yeah, so that's Australia. So yeah, I think it's all good in some way. There may be some challenges, but we can't look at it as right or wrong at this point. We just move into trusting that the transition's taking place, and the next week is just watching the waves of that energy coming through. So yeah, so stay tuned. I hope I'll be back on again soon. Lots of love. Bye now.